Thank you all. Thank you so much for taking your time to come and be here to be part of this conversation. I think there is no more important conversation to be in, because we're losing. We're losing every major ecosystem on the planet. You don't have to take my word for it. The Global Biodiversity Outlook 3, science by Dr. Tom Lovejoy of the Smithsonian, a lot of other scientists. 3 of the Earth's ecosystems are tipping into collapse. Coral reefs. Business as usual, there will be no living coral reefs on planet Earth, perhaps as early as 2050, certainly the end of this century. Sorry, scuba divers. We're losing the Amazon. This is a bit more serious. It's the Earth's lungs. And the oceans are acidifying. Now, why do we care what happens out in the oceans? We're land mammals. Those little calciferous critters called phytoplankton produce most of the oxygen on Earth, and if you acidify the ocean, the integrity of their shells goes away, and they don't produce oxygen for us. So if you're sentimental about breathing, this acidification of the ocean ought to be of concern to you. Now, in a sense, this has happened before on planet Earth twice that we know of, and 60 to 90% of species went extinct. George Carlin, the comedian, said, "Save the Earth will be fine. It'll shake us off like a bad case of fleas." What we're talking about is save the humans. Save life as we know it, which I rather like this human experiment. I think we ought to have a chance to hang around and see if we can make something of ourselves. And that's really what we're talking about. And it's why I'm particularly honored to get the CARE2 award. I'm a member of CARE2. I routinely click on their sign a petition and then watch month by month when the results come in, what they achieved. This citizens' movement is one of the things that gives me hope. Because if you look at the science, the Millennium Ecosystem Assessment, where Kofi Annan said the very basis for life on Earth is declining at an alarming rate, or the Planetary Boundaries study by Stockholm Resilience Institute, again looking at the human activities that cannot go beyond certain boundaries before ecosystems as we know them collapse, and again we've exceeded 3 of them, with the rest heading for the red zone. You can get pretty discouraged. And I teach business at Bainbridge Graduate Institute up in Seattle. We just launched a new MBA in sustainable management at Bard. This will be in New York City. Particularly cool because we will have the whole of New York City as a living laboratory. And my students, I assign them all these readings, and they come to me and they say, "Are we going to make it?" Testable hypothesis. We don't yet know the answer to that. And part of what this is about, this whole movement of ours, is maintaining the hope, maintaining the capacity to believe that, yes, we can make it. And so crowdsourcing answers, crowdsourcing involvement is going to be one of those aspects that will determine whether or not we make it. So thank you. Thank you to CARE2 for all that you do. If any of you are not members, CARE2, go on the web and click on a petition that you care about. You don't have to do them all. Find the ones that resonate with you and become part of this community of millions of people around the world that are now tuning in and paying attention and taking action.